Hello and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. We're going to wrap up today with some more new music. This one comes from V from BTS. The song is called Friends, but end is in parentheses. Why couldn't I think? I was like brackets? No. So it's focusing on the end of Friends, possibly. I don't know. Let's dive into this. See what V is bringing to the table today. I think I said this about J-Hope's video, but when the logo for the company has fantastic production, you know you're in for a good time. That's my kind of fridge. Sparse, empty, only in it what you need. Did he microwave that? Heat it up in any way? Did he just eat that straight out of the refrigerator?
You're in my hand. I had plans for the weekend, but wound up with you instead. Back here again, got me deep in my feelings, where I should be in your bed. You and I go back to like all night, it's like forever. And you let my loneliness, yeah, keeping me together. So wouldn't it make sense if I was yours and you could call me your baby? But we say we're just friends, just for now. Yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than just friends, just for now. Now I'm over pretending, so let's put the end in friends, just for now. Yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than just.
I kind of dig that. Oh no, they just cut it out. I thought the song wasn't going to be interrupted by the music video.
Wasn't I supposed to get too close to feel emotions that we're feeling now?
I think the
Breathing
song
from
is
down,
solid.
down, down. Yeah.
It's
But
produced
once you're
really
close, the
well.
light is not denying you, and I
I'm
can
not
never
coming
turn
around to the
around.
vocal production.
No, we'll never be
I'll
the
explain all that
same.
in the
You and I go
analysis
back to
section.
like all night, it's like forever. And you let my loneliness, yeah, keeping me together. So wouldn't it make sense if I was yours and you could call me your baby? But we say we're just friends, just for now. Yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than just friends, just for now. Now I'm over pretending, so let's put the end in just for now. And make friends don't say words that make friends feel like let's put the end just for now. And we're over pretending, so let's put the
I was kind of hoping some paramedics or some police would be fighting there too, like completely ignoring V just on the grounds. Huh. sometimes you finish a song and you don't know what to make of it yet, you know? It's kind of where I feel I am at with this. I want to break this down a little bit, talk about some of the stuff I think it does well. I want to then move into some stuff that I have some criticisms for, and then we'll hit the lyrics and see if that changes my mind about anything I've said about the music. So, to kick this off, the production on this is phenomenal. The spaciousness of the instruments, the sound of them, all the bass kick of the drum as well as the bass guitar sound fantastic. There's plenty of room for all the instrumentation and all the layers that we get, especially as we move into the chorus and have like 7 vocal tracks going on. Everything is meticulously placed in the sound sphere so that it's not stepping on any other instrument's toes. It's not really clashing with anything else. There's a lot of clarity to each of the individual instruments while still allowing a compressing down of ideas that they don't feel too distant. The song is still very easily enjoyable and digestible, just kind of taking it all in as a singular sound. And the producer found a fantastic midpoint here of having some spaciousness in the middle of the sound while still having a bit of a compression on the outside, not allowing the sound sphere to be too large and for the instruments to be too distant from each other. It creates what I think is the perfect production style where your average listener is just going to hear the song, but somebody like me who is attempting to hear all the specific elements of it has the room and clarity to do that as well. It works on both ranges of listening styles. And like I mentioned, the instruments themselves all sound fantastic. The tone of the bass guitar is just gorgeous. It has this nice, round, very present tone. The bass kick has a lot of body to it, a nice amount of reverb. The synth sounds, they're great too. They have usually a bit more of a pointed sound in order to cut through a lot of the mix and showcase their ornamental properties to the song. Everything's just produced really well. From a compositional standpoint, the song, it's a pop track. It's got a little bit of an R&B thing going on, especially in the rhythm section, but melodically it's not too adventurous. I pointed out that one time, I think it was in the first time we were at the chorus, and it was a ba 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 ba. It's just hammers on one note for such a long period of time. I'm curious if there is anything that I could read into that, but it is also such a trope of popular music right now that it could just be following along with the trends as well. It is a very popular sound to do. A lot of choruses utilize this. In fact, one of the main things in modern music, stuff that's popped up in the last 20 or so years, is that melody ranges have shrunk. Aside from people like Beyonce, who is going to just throw a wide range of pitches into her melody lines, and especially her vocalizations that she'll throw over usually a final chorus. Most pop stars and a lot of even popular music, this extends into the realm of electronic music with vocals, this extends into rock and even mainstream metal. There's just a singularity of note, usually a home note and then a rising and lowering of pitch right around there, usually the note above it and the note below it in whatever scale they're using. And that's about it. Any sort of jump is going to be a punctuation, which we see in here. We have that monotonous sound and then the jump up at the end of the phrase. It punctuates it. It signifies this is the end, and then we can restart back at the beginning of the phrase, going back to that root note. It is it's one of those things that I don't really like enjoying bringing up too often because I do think it can ruin people's enjoyment of music. Once you notice it, it's hard not to notice it everywhere. but it is something that I noticed in this track, and I think it's fine. It works okay. Uh, I don't think it really stands out to me as doing anything interesting, but I think that could just be because I hear this everywhere. But it is catchy, and ultimately, at the end of the day, it is a pop style track. It's designed to be catchy. Mission accomplished. I can tell you that this chorus is going to be stuck in my head for quite some time, though I do wish the chorus happened less often. I'm curious about the studio version of this track because at the end of our chorus, each time through, the song stops in order to restart the music video Groundhog Day style with a different twist on the story. So I'm curious how that goes. In the music though, as soon as I think that the chorus should end, we repeat it again. And the chorus goes 8 repetitions for both times we visit it, and the repetitions aren't that different either. So I found it to be a little grating by the end of the song, but it's one of those earworms where even if you don't like it, it still gets stuck in your head, and it is good at least for like the first 4 times through. So I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be something I need to spend some time with. I don't know how to feel about it because, on one hand, I really enjoy what's going on, and on the other hand, it's kind of bouncing off of me a little bit. And I think it's just one of those things that I'll come back to it in a week and figure out how I feel about it then once I've had some distance from it and I've given it a second listen. On the structural side, I find this to be very interesting. There has been a trend of shortening songs over the past 20 to 30 years. And part of the shortening has been just reducing the amount of time we stay in a section. The verses have gotten shorter, the choruses have gotten shorter. But there's been an interesting trend lately of starting a song on a chorus in order to immediately get the hook into the listener's ears because of dwindling attention spans and having a million videos at our fingertips. We all want instant satisfaction, so we front load songs with the important thing. It's the same reason why like movie trailers start up and tell you you're watching a trailer, and they show you like 3 really interesting scenes and then the trailer starts. It's a really dumb idea, but it works. This song doesn't do that. It goes right into the verse, and actually it takes some time to get there, especially with the music video. This is another aspect I kind of want to see the studio version for, and hear how the song exists devoid from and divorced from this music video, because it takes us some time to get into it. We have a little mini video at the beginning of this, and then even then the song eases into it. I really enjoy that aspect. It respects the music as art. It is not a commercial product. It is not designed to be a video on YouTube or Instagram that needs to immediately catch your attention. It is art, and art has flow and pacing to it. And if you don't stick around for it because it doesn't kick off with adrenaline at the beginning or it doesn't have a hook, then that's your loss. I really appreciate that aspect of it. I do. This was supposed to be about structure, though. So we got verse, chorus, silence. Again, I don't think that's going to be in the studio version. And then verse, chorus, well, and then silence, because that's the end of the video. This is cool and a little strange. There's no bridge to this. As I mentioned, songs are getting shorter. The old idea of verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus got shortened to remove that third verse, just have a third chorus after the bridge. I've seen a lot of songs in the past 5 years ditch that final chorus and end in the bridge, which typically brings new musical ideas, so it can act as an outro. Even the bridge is removed here. The song is just verse, chorus, and I think if we remove the silence of this track that is presented due to the storytelling element in the visual component, we end up with a song that is maybe 2.5 minutes long, if that. It is a very short track using the most condensed structure that I've seen in music to date. It harkens back to the ideas of jazz, which typically has a composed A section and an improvised B section, usually with an AA, BA. So you repeat the lick, the main melody that most people remember, you do some solos, you bring that lick back, and that's the end of your song. A lot of jazz standards are written on this four-piece structure. This is sort of like that in structure alone, but it's still interesting to see this drastically condensed idea. I think it would be neat and I would enjoy it more if the A and the B section had a little bit more to them. I could easily see this being a bit of a longer song, but I think it's fine for what it is. My main issue with this track, as much as I enjoyed most of it, is the vocal production. I can't get over it. After listening to V's Tiny Desk concert and hearing his natural voice, just the tiniest bit of production just to make it sound studio level, I loved it. I would love to hear more of his voice. I think it is a bit of a disaster that there's so much production done on his vocals in this track, in every bit of this track. I think that this highly processed, digitized, and even quantized sound is great for punctuation. I think when we do the really high pitched more than friends, that would be really cool with this robotic sound. Really amplifying that gap, that jump up to that note. But again, it would be a punctuating idea, a way to contrast elements of the vocals, not the de facto element of it. And so the song ends up feeling. I felt the emotion that V was portraying when we checked out his Tiny Desk concert. I don't feel any emotion in this because I don't hear a human voice in this at all. And it's not because he's untalented. We're not using voice modulation here because he can't sing, which that's like a massive uh, misunderstanding entirely. If you can't sing, voice modulation ain't helping you. Not without making you sound like a robot, which has become its own thing in mainstream music. Anyways, I have thoughts about that on another day. Um, Not negative, but I do have thoughts on it. Regardless, the dude can sing. He's got chops. I love the way his voice sounds. It has a beautiful timbre to it. He utilizes it very well. A beautiful vibrato. I praised his voice so much the last time we checked him out. And I don't get to hear it here. All of the natural coloring and intonation and inflection that he puts into his performance has been removed and replaced with a machine. Everything in here is so perfect and robotic. And it's just, I don't know. The song is cool. The song is catchy. The song has great instruments in it, great production. I would really love to hear a stripped down version of it, though. I don't think that this type of the way that this song has been produced is for me. I'm not the audience for it. I'm not saying that if you like this, then you're wrong. I mean, music's subjective. If you like this, enjoy it. Throw it on repeat. I don't care. There's, like I said, there's nothing really bad with the song, anyways. I could listen to this a dozen more times and be fine. I just know that there's a fantastic song here that's been covered up by producers. And that kind of makes me a little sad. I'm going to hit some lyrics real quick. We'll see what's going on there, and then we'll wrap this video up. I'm curious how people interpret this. The song is about a person, maybe V, but I'm just going to extrapolate this out to a fictional person who has feelings for somebody, but that relationship never goes anywhere. says, "You're in my head. I had plans for the weekend, but wound up with you instead. We're back here again. Got me deep in my feelings when I should be in your bed. You and I go back to like '09. It's like forever. You were there on my lonely nights, keeping me together. So wouldn't it make sense if I was yours and you could call me baby? But we say we're just friends." I think it's interesting that we don't ever get the other person's perspective, but we get a forced interpretation of their feelings. At the end of the pre-chorus says, "But we say we're just friends." It's the only time we ever get any notion of what this other person feels. Now, the way that I'm reading this is that it's an unrequited love situation where the person singing, or the person that's being sung about, has feelings towards a friend, and that friend doesn't have feelings back. And so they just agree that they'll be friends. But this song continues to push the idea that maybe we should be more. And I'll tell you, being on the opposite side of this end of a relationship dynamic is not fun. It is not cool to keep being asked, shouldn't we just take this relationship further? The chorus introduces an interesting idea, though. It says, "Friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than just friends." First of all, I think that is a drastic overuse of the word friend. The more I read it, the less it sounds like a real word. um, but that is just like your interpretation of that man. Like, dude, you feel like those words are saying they should be more, but you might just be misreading the situation. He finishes the chorus, says, "Now I'm over pretending, so let's put the end in friends." And the way that I read that is, let's end the friendship because you won't date me. Alternatively, it could be saying, let's end this friendship and turn it into a relationship, pushing it forward. But at least in my perspective, it's pretty clear the other person doesn't want that, as they consistently say, we're just friends, as the as the pre-chorus mentions. I think this is supposed to be a cute little song, and I'm probably going to be told, bro, you're reading too much into it. But no, this is a song about a pushy person who has unrequited feelings towards somebody else and keeps trying to get them to fall for them. It's kind of toxic. It's kind of bizarre because, like, when we checked out the three songs from the Tiny Desk concert, I was like, yeah, these are R&B songs. They're all about lost love. They're very teenage romance kind of stuff. It doesn't appeal to me as an older person, but it would have if I was younger, right? This, though, I'm kind of sad this appeals to people. I don't think the message, regardless of how you read the idea of let's put the end in friends, is great. It either comes off as somebody nagging or somebody wanting to end a relationship over the fact that they feel a specific way, and it doesn't take the other person's feelings into consideration at all. That's kind of gross. Um, I don't know. It's kind of strange too because I'm trying to compare this to the music video, which was he was alone and sad and died, and then he was with somebody and happy and then died, and then he woke up with himself. And what is that supposed to tell me? That no matter what you do in life, you could die? I mean, there is the element at the very end of waking up next to, I think that was himself, right? Which is like, you have to, if being lonely doesn't mean you have to be sad, as was depicted in the first timeline. And you can't only find happiness with other people, which was depicted in the second timeline as he was happy, but other people were in relationships and unhappy. But what was going to happen? Was he still going to die at the end of this timeline if he was happy with himself? I don't know. Is the music video that death is inevitable regardless of who loves you? Like, I don't know. I'm very confused about the message of all of this, and trying to tie the lyrical themes into the music video themes is just leaving me more confused. This is one of those rare situations where I wish I hadn't have engaged with anything other than the music and have just enjoyed that for what it was, because musically I really liked it. I had my criticisms about the production on the vocals, but I enjoyed the song. I liked listening to it. It has a good beat, good groove, good melody. But the more I think about it, it's just like, what, bro? What are you on? I don't know. Those are the end of my thoughts for V's friends. What are yours? Do you agree with anything that I said? Particularly, I'm kind of interested if fans of V and or BTS in general would rather have a stripped down, not necessarily acoustic version of this song, but one with more natural vocals on it. Would that be something that would interest y'all? But also, let me know if you disagree with anything that I said. I am not some musical gatekeeper or some sort of person who just knows everything. I don't even think my opinions are always right, they're just mine. I'm always interested to see in how other people appreciate and react to and think about music. So please put those comments, thoughts, perspectives, opinions, all that stuff down in the comment section. Above that, in the description box, you'll find a link to Linktree. In there, you can find this menu, which takes you to my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. That wraps it up for today. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC. We're going to be checking out a full album. I'll be surprised if anybody makes it through that video. I barely made it through that video, and I was the one making it. I almost perished that day. Uh, until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.